Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. So excited today. I've got actress, comedian Jane Luke with me. So welcome, Jane.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for pronouncing my name right on the first try, on the very first try.
You know, that is so rare for me, and people that watch the show know I tend to say it the way it looks to me, and I'm always wrong. But this time I got it right. I'm so proud.
Got a good spidey sense.
So Jane, let's start this way because we've got a new show to talk about. But let's start with you and tell me a little bit about what got you into the entertainment business. Why did you want to become an actress? That's a difficult business, you know. So what got you into it?
Well, when I was very young, these were the days when parents. It wasn't daycare. They had a farm. Yeah. So I was the oldest. So I became the babysitter when I was very young.
Did they push you out the door at daylight? And then, maybe you're allowed back in for a sandwich at lunch or something?
No. They left. They left and left me at home with my siblings. At the time, just my brother and my sister. And so what was I supposed to do with them? So I turned on the TV, and that became the babysitter for all three of us, and later four of us. And I just thought, as I was watching, I thought, I want to do that. And at the time, I remember there was later on, I remember Carol Burnett came up, and the name Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball. I didn't even think it was because they were doing comedy. I just knew what they did was something that really spoke to me, and I just thought that's what I want to do. But then as I got older, I thought, everyone wants to be on TV, right? So I had these career people started showing up at our high school, and one was a nurse. I thought, wow, nursing sounds like a great career. And then some of the teachers says, teaching is amazing. I thought, yeah, maybe. And so I was confused. So I went to my guidance counselor, and she said, why don't we do an aptitude test? So she gave me this aptitude test. It was like I don't know if you've ever done that, but it's something like, would you rather be arranging flowers or steaming curtains? The weirdest thing.
No. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I took, but we definitely took those when I was in school.
Okay. Yeah. So, and so you couldn't tell. I just did it. And at the end of it, she said, well, and she knew what I wanted to do. And she says, well, it looks like you need to do something. You're best suited to do something that's in front of an audience, whether that be teaching or performance, giving lectures, whatever. But you feel this is where you're best suited. So that spoke to me. And I thought, okay, that answered my question.
Well, yeah, because it gave you the green light.
Yeah, totally. The other green light I had to get was from my parents.
Of course. Well, because they just want to make sure that you're okay, and that you can support yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I convinced them, and I managed to. So I ended up going to theater school, and I just thought, I always knew that I couldn't just do it. I knew I had to get training, and so I did. I went through a 3-year program, but I always kept learning. And then someone told me about improv, which scared me to death.
Improv's scary.
And it is, but now that I have been doing it for a long time, it is still scary, but in the best way.
Yeah.
in the best way, in the way that you know that if you embrace it and you improvise, you go through a set or whatever performance, your world just becomes more connected with everyone else. Like your comfort zone, everyone's just holding on to their little comfort zones. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And then, you can draw Venn diagrams around, other people's comfort, zones start growing and merging. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Oh, it does. It absolutely does. I had an improv actress try to teach me about improv because I was like, well, I couldn't do that. And I was correct. I struggled with doing that, but we she practiced with me. I learned, yes and, so I got that. You got to say yes, or it just ends the conversation.
Right. Yeah. But mostly just trusting yourself that there should be no judgment. That's what stops us. It's like, I don't know, because I might say something silly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas when you're an improviser, you embrace being silly. You embrace like, well, so I fall on my butt. So what? Like that's the power. I find that's liberating. That what if I fall on my butt? Like, whereas when we're improvising, we're like, so what? It's just pretend. Just like acting is. And that's why I find those skills my improv skills have just really helped me.
I think improv can help you. It's kind of life skills because it makes you comfortable in uncomfortable situations, which you can use that for anything.
Exactly. And I teach classes. I remember, and I know I've taught corporate clients, and they're some of the hardest because they are so used to being result oriented. Yes. So yeah, the journey is very difficult for them. It's like, but no, this is messy, or this looks ugly. It doesn't feel.
I wonder if that's why I had trouble with it, because that's where the majority of my life, I was in the in the corporate world, and I'm working, kind of managing. I was a manager, and so I struggle with improv, and maybe that's part of it. Is just because I'm used to kind of concrete results, and the improv is more about the process.
Yeah, and just embracing whatever comes. So because you're a manager too, demanded perfection of you, right? Like demanded, like, no, you have to be right all the time to be a good leader. And being a good leader, so I direct as well, and I found that being a good director didn't mean I had to make all the decisions for everyone. It was the ability to listen and to hear and to see what people brought to the table. And so sometimes I would say, well, that's not going to be good. That's not a good choice. Or I'll say, that's an amazing choice. And so, which is why I had such a great time on the Institute. It's like the collaboration. I find it helps us all grow together, not as an individual process. So
of course. Of course, yeah. I love that. I saw that just coincidentally. My son, who does podcasts with me, he's a children's librarian during the day, and he occasionally will call and be like, I've got this movie I want to watch. And I'm like, okay, so we'll kind of have a movie night or something. Well, he's been doing that with like older Westerns. So we've been watching some of the spaghetti Westerns, Clint Eastwood and some stuff. But he came with the Lonesome Dove, the TV show, not the mini series, but the TV show.
Yes.
With that. And yeah, you're on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had seen that back, I think I was in the 90s. But
you watched it. Okay.
Yeah, I watched it because I was a Western fan growing up, and I loved the original, miniseries. So I watched it, but I couldn't, it's been 30 years since I'd watched it. But we just watched that a few months ago. So
wow.
Then when we set up our interview, I was like, oh, yeah. I kind of figured it out because I'd have looked it up and figured it out, but it was just kind of nice. I was like, I know who that is.
Yeah, that was it was one of those things where I knew that when it was happening, I thought, oh wow, there's another show I'll never get on. And then like a week later, they called me, and sometimes they in auditions and casting, they if you're a person of color, or they'll bring you in as the alternate, as an alternative to what the casting calls for. Maybe you want to see this person, me. So that's what I thought I was, but it wasn't. And yeah, it was very cool that I got it. That they whisked me out to Calgary, to Alberta, where we shot it. It was, again, really great to collaborate with people, because they asked me, oh, I know what it was. I asked them, I said, can we figure out a wardrobe that if she is a part owner of this cafe, she's westernized, can we do a fusion of, maybe she's wearing like, I don't know, she does this with her, she doesn't wear pants like the other women, like she wears a skirt like Western women, but maybe she has her own, and so I collaborated. And even with the hair, I said, maybe she's learned how to do a Western style. And so it was so great. The wardrobe and hair people and the whole creative team and the director, they said, yeah, that sounds great. But I remember having to fight for that. And
well, that's kind of awesome, because that was fairly early in your career.
It was early. Yeah. I was so grateful that they said yes, that they would do it. And I still remember, it was such a great production. The crew was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better experience. I didn't know anybody at the time. Not really no, I didn't really know anybody there. So yeah, this is my first time.
That's scary too, when it's first time kind of being on set and doing stuff for a bigger type of production. That can be kind of cool. You showed up on a lot of shows back in that time period that I watched, because I think you had an appearance on FX, the series, Earth Final Conflict, which I watched it because people don't really realize that was a Gene Roddenberry show.
Yes,
and so I was a big Star Trek fan, so I would definitely check that out. And then La Femme Nikita, there was a bunch of those '90s shows that you showed up on, and I loved all of them. Yeah, pretty good. And then the my favorite of your past roles, I owned a comic book shop in the '90s. That's how I put myself through college.
Oh, wow.
And I would trade for everything, because I was just a poor college kid. So we got a refrigerator because I traded comic books for it. I had a console TV from like the '80s, traded for that. There wasn't DirecTV back then. It was Prime Star, but I traded one of their techs to set me up with that to get that. And then we would run, the comic book type of shows on there, and X-Men '97 or '94 at that time, we ran it just all the time, just constant.
Wow.
And you were Deathstrike on there, Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah. In fact, it was on our Canadian Netflix at the beginning, but then I took it off. I couldn't find it again. But that was it was pretty amazing to do that voice. So I'm not Japanese, and Yuriko was that Lady Deathstrike.
Well, Kelly Yu plays her in the movies.
Sorry?
Kelly Yu plays her in the movies.
That's right. But it depends on the take they want on it. Like how recent is she? But in the animation that I did, the voice I did, they wanted her to be closer to being from Japan, not being Americanized, not being Westernized. So I remember taking time to listen to a Japanese accent, like what does English sound like with a Japanese accent. I consulted with a friend. I listened to tapes, because I just thought, I don't want to do a generic Asian or whatever that means, and or do my own accent, or I don't speak with one. I hardly speak my language anymore, but I speak Cantonese. So I thought, I'm not going to do that, because that's not true for this character. So it was important for me to get it as close to the origins as possible, not take it for granted. Oh, no one will ever know. I'm thinking Japanese people will know. Chinese, anyone who is Asian or has, they will know.
That's right.
It was important. It was important to me that I tried to get as close to that as I could.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. well, I was going to say a lot of actors wouldn't do that, but a lot would. They they put a lot of effort in that. But you
Yeah.
went the extra mile there.
Back then they wouldn't have. Back then I remember they says, "Oh, just do anything," but it's specifically like it wasn't for that series, but there was another show I did. They said, "Just do anything," and I thought, "Well, no, I'm not gonna."
No,
If
you
you were
want to
from
do it
India,
justice.
yeah. If
Yeah.
you're from Britain and you wanted them to have an accent, would you just say, "Well, just do whatever"? And Cockney wasn't right, or like it's the same sort of thing for me, anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. And of course, they brought X-Men back last year and it did so well. That's such I mean, for a cartoon, that is a very popular cartoon.
Yeah, it is. It just has so much life. So you talked about a comic book store, and it's so funny. But yesterday, I haven't done this in a while, but I did. I was in the area and I stopped into our comic book store
Well, you did.
in Toronto. Yeah, and I bought two graphic novels, like number 4 and 5 of Saga. I don't know if you've ever heard of Saga.
Oh my gosh. My son
Brian
got
K.
me reading those. I'm on I think the 7th or the 8th book of
Oh,
the
okay,
graphic
okay.
novel book. It's so good.
Yeah, it is. I think it is. It's really great. My neighbor loaned it to me, and then he moved away. So I thought, I gotta know what happens next. And so, yeah, it's really, I'm not in that area of town very often, but I was there yesterday. I went, oh, I should stop in.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
was
glad you
so
did. Yeah,
great.
that's a terrific series.
Yeah, and he's a great writer too, Brian K. Vaughan. So
Yeah, he
really like
is.
his
He
work.
is. Yeah. I've read a few others that he has done,
Right.
and they're all good. But
Yeah.
Saga's my favorite. That's so good. That's so good. Okay, so
Okay.
let me mention. I got one more to mention before we talk about.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So I told you I'm in the grandparent stage, so we watch a lot of Rescue Heroes,
Oh God.
especially the boys. The boys love that one. Yeah, and we had
Wow.
now my kids they're young enough that they were around when Rescue Heroes came out, and we still had some of the toys from that. So now the grandkids are playing with those toys.
Wow.
But yeah, that's a pretty fun show. I mean, it's not terrible as an adult to watch.
Right. I think I only did one character on that. And I just loved her name because it was Maureen Biologist.
Yes, I saw
So
that.
yeah, and I thought it was
Maureen
great.
biologist. Yeah.
Yes. Um, but someone pointed out to me, I didn't know who they were. They said, if I had a nickel for every time Jane Luke played a character named Maureen, I'd have 2 nickels. I said, well, no, actually, you'd have 3. So there was that. Then I
Yeah.
played Maureen, Maureen on the Institute, but also Maureen, uh, like the supervising angel in a Great American Classics holiday movie. She was the lead angel, and Chad Michael Murray was her, I don't know, her protege, I guess. Yeah, he was on assignment on Earth, and he was not being a good
What was
angel.
the name of that?
It was well, they changed several times. It was called Angel Falls Christmas, but
Oh, yeah. I did see
it's
that
a Great
on
American
IMDb. Yeah.
Classics. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
that's fun. It is, I don't know. Like I have third time's the charm. Like if I have more Maureens to come, that's totally fine
Well,
by me.
you have played a large number of medical personnel
Oh
in your
my God.
career.
There was I go through phases like reporters, doctors,
Yeah, a lot of
medical
reporters, a
profession.
lot of nurses, a lot of doctors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
kind of funny. Kind of funny. Okay, so the Institute, which
Yes.
is an MGM plus, right?
And yes, MGM Plus. Mhm.
Yeah. I get mine through Amazon, through my Amazon
That's
subscription.
right. Yeah, you
MGM
get it through
Plus.
Prime.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which I love. It's a really good a lot of good shows on that channel. But the Institute, Stephen King, that's pretty exciting. So
Yeah.
tell me about it. So what's the Institute about?
So basically, it's about so they're young children between the ages of 10 to like 17, 18,
Yeah.
captured, and they're brought to this place called the Institute. where it's because it's been discovered they either possess telepathy or telekinesis.
Okay.
And there, the Institute sort of does experiments with them with a serum so they can develop both. So if you have telepathy, it's hopefully that they're trying to get you to develop telekinesis. And the story centers.
What's the plan for that? Are they planning to use these individuals like as a weapon, or for good reasons?
It's not explained to them. All they're told by Ms. Sixby is that it's for the greater good. It's to help save the world, and so it's not clear what it is. But we follow Luke Ellis, played by Joe Freeman, and he's a 14-year-old who's been captured, and so we follow him. So when he arrives, there are all these other kids who are there already in this austere looking place, and it's a really desolate kind of. It's a very paradoxical place because while it's all very old and concrete and sterile looking, there are these signs that pop up that say things like "shots for dots" or "be happy." It's up to you. It's like those kind of slogans. So the people I play Maureen, who works at the Institute.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, we follow that, and we find out. So I don't want to spoil it, or that's why I'm saying. So we don't know. Actually, we don't know for a while.
So are you a teacher? Are you what's your role at the Institute? Or are you the people there?
So I am. I'm basically a janitor and an orderly. So I'm at the lowest.
Okay.
On the totem pole, very, very at the bottom.
Do you end up having powers?
Oh, Michael, I can't tell you anything like that.
Well, I tried. Are you the villain? Well, and it comes out like
this Sunday.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Sunday.
It's coming
in the US. I don't know when it's coming in Canada, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to find a way to watch it.
I'm glad that we're to the point now where most Canadian shows are actually making it over to the US, where, before we had a little trouble, finding many Canadian offerings, and there's a lot of good stuff being done in Canada. Well, now this one's on Prime. That's
right. It's an
American. A lot of Canadian shows we don't necessarily get very fast.
Right. So yeah, like Kim's Convenience. I don't know.
Yeah, I love Kim's Convenience, but it's on Netflix here. But it took, it was. Yeah. I think it was done with its run in Canada before. Before it came here. But I knew you did one of those. Yeah, I watched it at some point last year. I binged that one. It's a good show.
Yeah, it's got. The reason why I think it does so well is because it has so much heart. Like it's not just for the. I mean, Ince Choi, who's a writer, just wanted to make sure that the comedy, the humor came from the heart. Like whatever the situation happened, it wasn't just for a gag. It was not something that was frivolous, gratuitous. It was just, it came out of, for instance, whatever Appa was thinking about, or whatever the choices that he's made, or whoever, any of the characters. So
I was disappointed they didn't do another season. Because it was good, and I get it. You probably want to end it early and have people wanting more than to go too long. But I thought it was still so great. I don't another season. But I
think everyone was surprised.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, there wasn't a drop off. I mean, it was still so good.
Yeah.
So the Institute, so you're a janitor or an orderly. So you're interacting with the children, I'm assuming, or the teenagers.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's sort of like the liaison. She tries to get the children to trust her, but she reports to sThe. So,
Okay.
so you don't know, like, she's in a trapped kind of situation. So, in order for her to gain favor with sThe, she needs to give sThe information.
Right.
And in order to do that, she has to, talk to be able to get the children to trust her. So it's like a strange.
Yeah, and that's kind of rough because
yeah,
she's daily interacting with the children, but she doesn't report to them. So she's got a boss she's got to report to. Yeah, that I could see where that could be a little so we don't know for sure if you're going to really turn out to be like a helper for the kids or it's working against them.
Yeah, because she's in a very desperate situation. So I think everyone who's there, who works there, is. Yeah, so they're working. Anyway, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, for her, I can just say that she needs to do anything she can to survive.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've got let me see, Jason Diaz is coming on later this week. And he's also in the show. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch it. It's definitely at the top of the list. Is it going to drop? Like, is it dropping weekly or is it everything coming at once?
Well, the first 2 episodes are together.
Okay.
And then after that, it's weekly.
I kind of like that the streamers have started going that route instead of just dropping everything at once. I kind of like, give me the couple episodes so it's kind of like sitting down and watching a movie. And then you got a week so you can dissect it, you can, talk about it, try to figure out what's going on. I like, binging's great, but when it's done, you're just left kind of, you're done. And you never really get to dive in and dissect it and talk about, which is how I grew up. We didn't have any of that. So you missed, if you missed the weekly episode, you were probably out of luck till summer reruns.
Right.
And then everybody's talking about it and you're just like, oh.
but I think also giving it a week to breathe, it helps you to sort of, as you said, talk about it, but for you to sort of digest it a bit, because like there's a lot that happens in the show.
Yeah.
So it gives you a chance to just to really sit with it, instead of like when you binge, sometimes you're not in it deep enough. You're just like, oh, okay, just keep going.
You miss stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only so long you can hold your attention. If you're watching something for the entire day, at some point you're going to miss something.
Right. Yeah. But Jason, it was great because we both sort of started around the same time on the same day. And I mean, well, you'll see when you see him. He's the sweetest person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a good actor too.
Yeah. When you see him in this, it's like a complete 180.
Really? Yeah, because he's kind of like, he's a strong dude. Yeah. A little different role for him on this one. I love that.
Yeah. I think he had a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah.
Was this if I remember right, this it's based on a short story, I think, right? It wasn't a
no, it's based on it's a full book. We just actually at the screening at the premiere, Stephen King had a little speech for us, and then there were like copies of his book handed out to us. So that was our swag, and we thought, oh my god, it's a big book.
So you got to do the whole red carpet experience.
Yeah, I just thought I would at this point in my career, because I just thought this was a big role.
Yeah,
it was a significant role, and with a very with really good high profile actors, Mary Louise Parker, Ben Barnes, and I just thought, I'm going to make the most of it, because I don't know, I may never walk it again. I have no idea. So I'm just going to.
I know you're too good an actress. You will. So let me ask you this though. When you found out you had to go to the premiere, did you just go to your closet and pick out something to wear, or did you had to go out and shop?
No, I had to ask a lot of people, and I've been very lucky. My neighbor and friend, she's a stylist. But she
Oh,
was on another project. So Jane, I just got, I'm going to send you to this place. These are the dresses I want you to try on. And so anyway, I went there and I ended up picking a dress that wasn't on her list, but the people there are really great. So yes, it was a rental, but it was a beautiful, beautiful dress. And
I'd
my
have to
friend,
do that. I would
well,
100%
you
have
have
to go
to.
buy something because I'd look in my closet and be like, no, this is good enough.
No, not for a red carpet. I just thought, yeah. So I had a say yes to the dress moment. Whenever I
Yep.
said, this is the one. Yeah. And then my friend Lauren Ash, who
Oh,
is in
yeah.
Superstore.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was in
Superstore is
yeah.
a great
Anyway,
show. Yeah, she was terrific in that.
she plays Dina.
Yeah.
Anyway, I knew her when she was still here in Toronto, when she was part of Second City, and we did some Bad Dog shows together. And
Yeah.
so I contacted her and I said, "You post all these amazing, hairstyles or whatever, like being all glammed up when you go to
Right.
events." I said, "Who do you go to? Who do you use?" And so she told me. And Aaron Paul was the makeup artist. Amazing, amazing artist. And his name is Gui, who did hair. And the two of them worked so, it's like just beautifully together and gave me confidence. And
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't have done it without them. And then my agent came along and she said, I'm going to be your assistant. So Alex Kasman, she said, I'm gonna wear something all black, okay? So I'm gonna blend in, but I'll still look like I should be there. And she says, whatever you need, whatever you need. I'm gonna hold your purse. And I just thought, oh my God,
That's
this is
amazing.
she was amazing. Like I had the most incredible people
Yeah.
around me. So
What you need,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, you
yeah,
need I always tell the kids that I was like, you got to have a person
yeah,
for
yeah.
whatever you're doing.
I know. You gotta water their plants for them too, you know?
Right. Well, no,
They're
that's
not gonna
great.
they're not gonna know what I'm talking about because we talked about watering your wife's
That's right.
plants
That's right. My wife was out of town. I had to water plants. It took like an hour, and I was very worried that they would not survive, and I would get the blame. That's why I told her before she left. I was like, "I'll do this, and I'll do my best, but you cannot blame me if anything dies."
They won't.
One died.
Oh,
And I mean, legit, it took an hour or 45 minutes to water them. So it's a lot of plants. I felt pretty good about that. And it was just this little thing that was right up against the ground and it just got burned up.
oh,
I didn't quite get it watered enough and it burned up. But everything else survived. So pretty good. But
okay.
of course, when she got home, immediately goes to that area. Like she knew. I'm like,
It's like a
I was like, I
mother.
guess maybe you better get somebody else to do it. Darn. I'll admit though, I surprised myself in that I got a little bit interested in how they were doing. You go out one day and the leaves are kind of droopy, so you water them. And you go
Yep.
that next day, maybe it has a flower on it, or the leaves are pointed up. And I was like, hey, but I didn't tell her that. I don't want her to know that I kind
You
of
should
enjoyed
just you need to talk to the plants. I talked to because I grew up on a farm, but
it.
I kill everything, even succulents. And so I
So
did
are
not
you
use
talking
that
to them
stuff.
just to warn them that you guys are
No,
in trouble
no,
now?
I didn't talk to them. So now I'm learning to talk
Oh,
to
okay.
them. I thought, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So
Well,
I
they
think that
say talking, singing, all that kind of help.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
all sounds very. Do you remember the Mark Wahlberg movie? The where he was talking with the plants, and the plants were. It was M. Night Shyamalan, one of his movies. But so he's talking to the plants, and then the plants
Okay.
are trying to basically kill everybody on the planet with that. And he's talking.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like that's how he's talking to him, trying to keep him calm down. They're releasing
Yeah.
something it's the Earth fighting back, basically.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna look that up.
yeah. Look that up. I cannot remember the name.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know,
okay.
and
Okay.
it was pretty. There's a really good Saturday Night Live skit that he did. He was hosting, I think, but it came out around that time, and it's
Okay.
him. Be like, hey, plant. how you doing? How's your mom? But he's just making fun of himself in that movie. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. My oldest, my daughter, said to mention Unicorn Academy to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she said, I don't know what that is, but apparently that's something that her kids are checking out.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, IMDb doesn't have all my credits on there, but I've done like about 4 episodes. But
Yeah,
I play the voice of Mona Fury.
yeah, that's what she said.
So yeah, so like she's like she fought the original Unicorn Wars against Grimoria. But yeah, no. So my mom doesn't speak English, as
Oh,
I mentioned. So she
yeah.
watches a lot of animation. So I said, Mom, I worked on this. And the type of animation that it is, it's kind of girly, whatever. But Mom's,
Yeah.
oh, this is the most beautiful cartoon.
Because she doesn't
Yeah,
understand what you're saying, but she
not
likes watching
really.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets the idea of what's going on. I try, if I can, I'll try to get subtitles, but for that one, I couldn't. But she still watches it. So
I love it.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
does mom think? Does she think maybe this acting thing might work?
Well, things started to kind of move for me a bit more like in a few years ago,
Yeah.
because that was the year I went to Cannes because our
Oh,
series, it was a web series called Streams Flow from a River, got accepted, and so a few of the cast and the director, the producer, we flew out to Cannes, France,
amazing.
and yeah, we were there for the European premiere of that. And so she's like, "Oh, you're going for that? Are you getting paid?" I said, "Well, no, that's all." But I said, "Well, in a way, I mean, I'm working
That's
for
right. You're
getting more,
networking.
more work. Yeah, exactly." And then I was, but later in that year, I had a 5 month contract at Stratford Festival,
Oh,
which is wow, it was like probably the biggest live theater in Canada. Where
okay.
it's mostly like Shakespeare, and but they used to be known for Shakespeare. It's like it's named after like not named after the same name as Stratford on Avon in England.
Yeah.
So they produce all kinds of shows now, not necessarily just Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I did a stint there, and my mom came out, and
Easy.
she wasn't going to, because live theater is not something on her radar, nor
Right.
yeah, or yeah, my siblings, like it's kind of, it's interesting, it's not their a world they're used to or quite understand how what you have to go through. But she came out, and so in
Were you in
uh,
Toronto at the
no,
time?
no, no,
Oh,
well, I had to live in Stratford. I had to
oh,
move to
sorry. Yeah,
Stratford because it's about 2 hours away approximately.
yeah.
So it was great. It was the most amazing time, because you're just steeped into, because when you're away from Toronto, uh, in an area like that, you're just steeped in so much creativity,
Yeah.
and they take care of you. Like before every performance, you had somebody, a coach that would lead you through warm ups, like through
Oh,
your
nice.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you're
I need
ready
that for the podcast. Warm me up before I come on there.
It's important. It's important, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. I always, we're going to hit our 1,000th episode next week,
Oh,
and I
wow,
always
amazing.
say, you think by this point I would, be a little more comfortable than I am, but I'm not.
Comfortable in what way? You mean just
Well,
doing it? Or?
normally, actually, and that's not true. I'm very comfortable now, but normally I get very nervous ahead of time. I'm an introvert, kind of at my core. So I have to fight against that. So I get nervous. But then once I'm on, once we click record, I'm fine. It's like it's more of anticipation nerves now. Where when
Right.
we started, it was just nerves. I was just scared to death, and I think it may have bled over a little bit in the on camera, but you do it enough times, you get comfortable.
Yeah. Well, it's like improvising. I
Yeah.
still get a little scared, like nervous, but it's a good kind. It means for
Yes.
me now, I think I'm alive because I'm reacting, and it's like, oh, something I'm going to do something exciting. This is going to be exciting because it's going to be new. Because you don't know what's going to come with your podcast. Like you don't know what's going to come out in terms of
That's right.
stories. And so same thing when you're improvising, you just know you're with somebody and you're about to do scenes and you're both going to do it together.
That's
I mean, you
right.
sort of have an idea, but things can change and just be ready
That is
to
true.
do.
It's
Yeah.
not like we're prepping ahead of time. We don't know exactly. I know kind of things I want to touch on, but I don't know what you're going to say.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Which
So
I
that
kind of like
excitement
it
is
like that.
to, yeah, it's like,
We
it's a little alarm to say, hey, Michael, we're
That's
going to
right.
do this now. Yeah.
We're gonna do it. Well, I
Yeah.
always, we watch one of the talk shows before we go to bed, just kind of our end of the night thing. So Seth Meyers or
Oh,
Colbert
yeah.
or something like that, and they're great. But occasionally they'll do those interviews that you can tell they have prepped with each other ahead of time. I'm going to
Okay.
ask you this. This is what you're going to talk about, and they don't flow very well.
Hmm.
'Cause you can kind of tell that they've not really rehearsed, but they've definitely discussed what they were going to talk about. And I like it better when it's just more of a conversation. So you don't know exactly what's coming. You just have to respond. So
Right. I'll bet there's some guests who don't feel comfortable
I think that's what it
not
is,
not
because most
knowing.
of the time
Yeah.
you don't get that, but occasionally they'll have somebody on, and you can tell they've obviously rehearsed that a little bit, because it's hard to explain why, but you can just tell when it's not as natural, I guess.
Yeah. It's that fear of failure, fear of looking silly, fear of like, uh, yeah, not, yeah, being judging yourself, and which is why I think some of the hardest things that an actor does, or if an actor wants to go deep, is my best work is when I am at my most vulnerable.
Yes.
Because when I am vulnerable, then you get to see the raw performance, and therefore you will hopefully get I strive to be as authentic and as honest and true as I can, even as a character. So it's and I'm not afraid of the vulnerability. I'm
Right.
afraid when I'm vulnerable, but I'm not afraid of the vulnerability. And I think that's where that fear stops a lot of people. Like, but I can't be vulnerable. No, I have to pull my armor around me to protect me. And so all you're getting is you're hitting the
That's right.
armor. So yeah, it's a really hard thing to, it's like, okay, here I am, and
Well, it surprised me that a lot of actors are shy or introverted, and they use acting
it's
as a way
true.
to get out of that. But what cured me? William Shatner came through town a few years ago,
Oh
and
wow.
and I got to interview him on stage, like at our local civic center. So it was a big audience, and I'm not used to that. And I was a nervous wreck, but it went great. And I got to ask. We were up there for a couple hours, and I got to ask like 4 questions. He talked for like a half an hour on each one, so it was really
Wow.
easy. But it had me, in front of a few thousand people. So after that, not too. I keep telling myself, I was like, well, what could be worse than that? You got through that, and it went fine. So that kind of cured me.
Oh, that's great. Another Canadian as
Yes,
well, Wim Shatner.
Montreal, I think, is where he's
Yeah, yeah. Where is
originally
that?
from. I kind of laughed
Yeah.
because they showed one of his Star Trek movies, Wrath of Khan. So the
Okay.
audience is watching that. We're backstage having dinner, just the two of us,
Oh
and
wow.
and he's just a guy. We're just talking. He's asking about my family. He's talking about his dogs. Just a guy who's comfortable, easy. As soon as he steps on stage, that's William Shatner, completely different person.
Wow.
And I thought that's pretty good. He can turn it off and on.
Yeah, yeah. He's had some practice.
He's been doing this for a little while. I was laughing because we finished. It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning, because
Wow.
he signs autographs and pictures and all. It was probably 1 o'clock, and his next show was 4 hours away, and he drove himself like straight to
Wow.
there. He's like, "Yeah, I'll sleep when I get there." I'm like, He's in
Wow.
the
Unbelievable.
90s. You could probably find somebody to drive you.
Wow.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
So I wanted to mention a couple of the you've been in some movies, the pretty big movies too. I wanted to throw a few of those out there before we wrap up. So
Okay.
John Q, love that movie. And you were a nurse in that.
Yeah, but I was wearing a mask.
You were.
It took, we filmed that ER, the surgery scene, for 7 days. And when you see it on screen, it's like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's quick.
It's because I was like, how many more? Even I was thinking, I love it. I love that I'm working, but how many more angles? And I met, oh gosh, Alec. He works for a visual effects. So his company created the heart, like the child
really?
is not real. So when they do the open heart surgery part, and you see the heart, and he had a guy underneath the table, and they described it, and I'm there because I'm handling instruments, like I'm there, and they created a heart, and it had 4 chambers, and he had 4 little pulley things so that the heart would go pump 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 pump. Like I just thought, wow, the detail. It was amazing. Amalgamated Dynamics, I think was his company. Anyway, it is. They're based out of Los Angeles, but yeah, it was it was really great getting to know. Like I got really interested. In fact, there was one point I thought I would love to get into doing that, like making prosthetics or Anyway,
that's really cool. That's really cool. And then the other one I wanted to mention was the Saw. You were in Saw 3. Was it 3?
Yeah. Saw 3.
Yeah, which I've only seen the first one because I am a huge chicken, so I have not been able to get through it. Yeah, I'm a chicken. I'm the worst with like I'm gonna watch The Institute, but I guarantee there'll be a couple of spots I probably have to close my eyes.
Well, I think the first episode is I think you'll be able to get through it. Okay. You know what I do? I'm a chicken, but I know I have to watch things.
Right. Same.
So I know I have to. So what I'll do is I stop it, and then I fast forward. Like, is anything coming up? Are they getting attacked? Okay, let's go back so I can hear what's being said.
I do that too. Yeah, because I want to know. I'd rather see something in fast time to know if I can actually handle it. And if it looks too bad, I just skip it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, no thanks. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. But I'm like you. I don't like to be. No. I don't like to be scared.
Which, by the way, you were also a nurse in that one.
Yes, I was.
I haven't seen it, but I did see that you were a nurse in that one too.
Yeah. I played a whole. Yeah.
Thank you for taking a little bit of time. This has been terrific. Yeah, I can't wait to watch The Institute. Comes out Sunday. Do we have a time?
No, I'm not really sure. It's just whenever MGM.
Probably in the evening. That evening.
Yeah, I would.
Sometimes they put them out at midnight, but I'm assuming it has a time that it's coming out. But yeah, probably Sunday evening. But so excited to watch it. My son, I think, is going to come over and watch with me. Stephen King's his favorite author. So,
oh, great.
Like, hey, Institute this weekend. So he's like, yeah, I'll come back. So, yeah.
Okay. And don't be surprised that I won't be as glamorous as I normally am in the Institute. Because Maureen's gone through a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've probably been through it. You got to.
Yeah. Anyway.
Or it's not it's an ongoing series. Like the hope is that we'll get other seasons after this one, right?
Yeah, there's been talk about that, but nothing.
Yeah. It's too early. Yeah, we got to see how it does. But I think it's going to do pretty well. I think it's going to.
I hope so.
My son's read the book. He says the book's terrific. So I trust him. If he says it's pretty good. We tend to like similar things. So
okay.
Yeah, should be good. I hope that when you get your next big one or season 2 comes out, that you come back. We can do this again.
Oh, I'd love to. And I want you to take a picture of your garden.
Okay, I totally will. I'll take a few. Because I got to walk around the entire house. So maybe I'll take a little short video, just walk you around the whole thing. And it's the same on the inside. It's not just, I mean, she's an artist, she's creative. So, you know, the house is just full of plants and drawings and paintings. And I don't know, I kind of love it. I'm not creative at all, but
Yes, you are.
No, I'm really not, but it's very soothing kind of being in that environment. So
Yeah.
I tell her, just whatever you decide to do, I'm on board.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's great. They're surrounded by plants, but I think you're more creative than you realize.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
I think you're just like, no, you've already put the door. No, I'm not good at it, so I'm not going to pursue that. But I bet you are.
You've actually figured me out a little bit, because that is exactly what I do. I look at something, like if there's something that needs put together, I look at it and be like, I can't do that. Then I just move on. Whereas my son, you know, he will screw it up just as bad as I will, but he's not afraid to try it.
Right.
And he learns how to do it.
Right.
Where, yeah, I'm like, I can't do it.
Right. Well, our next session will be next week at the same time. Does that work for you?
Yeah. You think we can help me with this issue? I'll tell you. Let me tell you a quick. This will give you an example of why I struggle. This quick story, and then we can wrap up. So, Emily, that's my wife. She bought a bench, 3 pieces. That's all of us, 3 pieces, and it was sitting. She was out of town. I'm like, I'm gonna put that together for her and have it ready when she gets back. You know, I thought I'm gonna do something nice. So I put it together. Well, I put the back of the bench on backwards, so it was reversed. So I was like, well, that's not too bad. For me, that's decent. I was like, I can take that apart, turn it around, done. So I did, took it apart, turned it around, finished. I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's still backwards. How did I put it back together? Still wrong. But I did. So I took it apart again, put it back together, got that piece right, had screwed up another piece. It's only 3 pieces. Somehow I'd turned the bench upside down, put it together. So, okay, took it apart again. So what should have taken 20 minutes took me 2 hours to get it together. So she comes home and I was like, there's your damn bench. And she's like, so yeah, that's kind of what you get with me.
Not being creative. That's not creativity.
No, that has nothing to do with creativity. That's just, you know, my dumbassery is all that is.
But that happens to a lot of people. I mean, that's why I will not assemble any more IKEA furniture. I will get somebody to do it for me.
Yes, which goes back to, you have to have a person in whatever you do. You got to, if you have trouble with something, you need to know who to call.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, so Jane, before I let you go, anything outside of the Institute that you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
Well, it's still at early stages, but my friend and I are trying to, we have 1.5 scripts written for a radio podcast.
Ooh.
It's called Till Death Do Us Part.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I saw that. It's like, so it's like a 1950s murder mystery.
Yeah, and it's a parody. So really, we're writing it for the laughs, but also for all the crazy character voices that we love to do. So it's taking a while because he's also an animator. Yeah. So he gets like do you have any young ones who watch Paw Patrol or?
Oh my gosh, yes, grandkids.
Okay. Yeah.
We're a Paw Patrol family.
Okay, so he works on that. He works on Paw Patrol. So I think he just finished, but they can call on him at any time. But anyway, so that's what we've been waiting. Like, so then I got busy, and then he got busy. So
you're just waiting on.
We've been waiting on each other.
Right.
Yeah, but you know.
Though. So you're going to release it kind of like a podcast, but it's more of a radio drama.
Oh yeah, that's what it will be. Yeah,
I love that.
So. Yeah, so it's great, you know, like that's why I think creativity is so vital and important. Like even people watching this podcast, it's not such a passive thing as people think when you're watching. a performance of some kind. I know it's not a performance per se, but it's entertainment. It's something that
Right.
it's meant to be watched and listened to, because I just think there. I wish there was a equipment I can use to measure this, but I think something happens to your brain when you're emotionally transformed, like you laugh or you just, or even if you don't like something, you're exercising something in your brain so that you normally wouldn't if you're like working as an accountant, or if you're doing, a task that doesn't require your brain to fully exercise emotion.
Right.
So that's why I think just even doing the slightest, like doing this writing. So after I finished the Institute, I've been doing voiceovers, but then my friend asked me, do you want to work on this with me? I have this idea. So we worked out the characters, what kind of stories they would be. And just
that's
even
fun.
doing
Just that piece is fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. That's why I encourage you, Michael, to find something to create, even if it's drawing something on a piece of paper.
This podcast is my creativity. This is it. So this is how I stretch creatively.
Well, okay, I will improvise with you next time. We'll do a simple game.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
That's a deal. Because yes, I need to work on my improv skills, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case I'm walking down the street and somebody challenges me to like an improv contest.
That's right. It could happen.
You never know. When in the 80s, when I had the glorious hair, the 80s hair, I got really into that movie Breaking. I don't know, Breaking, which it's just a breakdancing movie. It's early 80s.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't the dancing. I just liked the outfit. So I started wearing parachute, and but I couldn't dance at all. And I was shy. So I lived in fear that somebody was going to walk up to me and challenge me to a dance off. So I'd see people come toward me and I'd just turn around and go the opposite direction.
Oh.
I could have stopped wearing the pants, but I never did.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So last thing, Jane, before we go,
yes.
Where can we find you on social media?
Okay, so this is really new to me. So I am on Instagram.
Yes.
I am on Facebook. Those are the two main ones.
Well, I think it's just under your name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can find me
there. Right up.
Okay. It did?
Well, we're very yes, it did. We're very interested in what you're doing and what you're eating. That's basically what Instagram is for.
But they can find me on that for sure. Yeah.
Well, and when Till Death Do Us Part is kind of ready to come out, I'm sure you'll put that out there on your.
Yes, for sure. I'll put it on, but it's going to be a while because he just finished Paw Patrol, and so I was a bit sick when I got back from LA.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. No, last week. So I haven't been able to keep up. Like, we were supposed to proofread each other's scripts. Never caught a chance to do that. And then we were supposed to record. I was still sick. And because I'm doing a lot of, like, we're both doing
you gotta be right if you're going to do a lot of the voices.
Yeah. So it's been held back. So that's why it's probably going to be at least a couple of months.
That's
another few months. No, it's not. But
before the end of the year, though.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Crossing my fingers. Jane, thank you so much. This has been terrific. Can't wait for the Institute. Comes out Sunday night. And I hope we get to do this again at some point.
Oh, me too. Thank you. It's been so fun. Thank you, Michael.
I hope they bring you to some conventions. I hope it takes off. You get a second season and then you hit like Comic-Con at some of them.
Oh, wow. I've never done that.
I didn't figure you had, and you need to. It's a good experience.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on one second. Jane Luke. Absolutely love her as an actress. I think she's terrific. I cannot believe, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, Jane, if you're watching, you did a children's show called The Polka Dot Door. You were the host on. And I know this show because I have also had Sherry Miller, who was also a host on the Polka Dot Door. So I learned about that show from her, and I've actually went and looked up a couple of the episodes, and then I found out you were also a host. So pretty great. So apologies that I didn't bring that one up. I think I hit most of Jane's catalog that I wanted to hit. She let's see. She's been on Murdoch Mysteries. She did Private Eyes. She did have an episode of Am with an E. That's one I haven't watched, but my wife loves. Let's see. Impulse, Northern Rescue, The Odd Squad. Oh, she did a doc. I can't believe I didn't bring that one up. She's been on Monk. We talked about Kim's Convenience. She was a nurse on Queer as Folk. She did a episode of Sailor Moon, I believe. She talked a little bit about the anime. Goosebumps she has done. And then I think the rest of them we hit on. Oh, she was a doctor on The Accused. Forgot that one. Oh, boy, I am a terrible podcaster. Captain Power, which was another children's show, kind of a fun one. She's done at least one of those. We have had Jessica Steen, who's another actress that I absolutely love, was also on Captain Power. So wanted to mention that one as well. I can't believe I didn't mention the Polka Dot Door. Oh well. Jane's terrific. We will try our best to get her back on. Make sure that you check out the Institute on Amazon, MGM Plus, this Sunday night, Stephen King, and we are also having Jason Diaz. So keep your eye out for him on the show as well. Thank you guys so much. If you're finding us for the first time, so happy that you're here. I think I've got good news for you. You know, we're getting ready to hit episode 1000. So there's a ton of episodes out there for you to look at or to check out if you enjoyed this one. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, really helps us out. Our website is meistercon.com. You can find all of those episodes, audio and video versions. So please check us out there as well. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to Jane. Till next time. Bye, everybody.